Hey everyone, are you ready to get a little bit spooky?
Ooh, yeah.
I am too. Today we're going to take a deep dive into The Shining.
One of the best.
Right. I mean, it's a classic for a reason.
For sure.
So we're going to be diving into the Torrance family's terrifying stay at the Overlook Hotel.
All right.
And we're going to try to unlock those secrets hidden within Stephen King's fantastic prose
Yeah.
using this stack of excerpts that you have so thoughtfully provided.
Love it.
So I think we should just jump right in.
Let's do it.
So to set the scene, we have Jack Torrance, right?
Yeah.
And he's a recovering alcoholic,
Okay.
and he is an aspiring writer who accepts a job as the winter caretaker of the secluded Overlook Hotel.
Classic haunted house story.
Right. Can't go wrong with that.
No.
And he's joined by his wife, Wendy,
Okay.
and their son, Danny.
Right.
And Danny has this unique gift, the Shining,
Yes.
that allows him to kind of perceive these supernatural forces, right? Well, what's interesting about King's initial portrayal of Jack is that he's not this, like, evil guy right away.
No.
He's flawed, he's
Right.
struggling, but he's trying to be better, right?
Absolutely.
He's trying to be a better husband.
Yeah.
He's trying to be a better father. And I think that just makes his descent, his eventual descent into madness all the more unsettling, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, because you get that sense that he's trying so hard and there are these forces working against him. And it's like you said, he's not just this like mustache twirling villain.
Right.
He's a complex character. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And I think King does such a great job of like slowly peeling back those layers
Yeah.
to reveal the darkness that's kind of always been lurking beneath the surface.
Yeah, it's really masterful.
Like, remember that passage where Jack hurts Danny
Oh, yeah.
in a drunken rage?
Oh, God, so early on, too.
Yeah, and it's just like this chilling foreshadowing of what's to come.
Right.
You know, and it makes you question like how much of a grip does he really have on his demons, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's subtle, but it's so effective.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, then there's Danny, right, with his Shining.
Right.
He's almost like he's this tuning fork vibrating to the Overlook's sinister frequencies from the minute they get there.
Yeah, like he's picking up on all the bad vibes
Right.
right from the start.
Yeah.
It's like this undercurrent of dread that follows them,
Yeah.
especially like with his visions of the Grady twins.
Oh, so creepy.
It's like King is giving us these little glimpses into the hotel's dark past,
Yeah.
but he's not hitting us over the head with it.
Yo.
It's subtle. It's creepy.
Right. Like little breadcrumbs.
Exactly.
And speaking of creepy, we have to talk about the Overlook Hotel itself.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it's not just a setting.
No.
It's practically a character in its own right.
100%.
Right.
It's got its own personality.
Yeah.
It's got its own agenda.
It's sinister.
Oh, absolutely. It's got this history.
Yeah, and King does such a good job of like describing it, like you can practically feel the weight of all the bad things that have happened there.
Yeah.
Like all those stories about the guests who went crazy.
Right, right.
And then there's that whole thing with the cannibalism during that one winter.
Oh, so disturbing.
It's like the Overlook feeds off of that negativity.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost alive.
It's true. And the fact that they're snowed in, they're isolated.
Yeah, totally isolated.
Makes everything just 10 times creepier.
Oh yeah, because there's no escape.
Right.
They're trapped with
Yeah.
this malevolent presence.
Yeah, there's no calling AAA
Yeah.
to get you out of this one.
And it just amps up the tension.
Right.
Like you're snowed in with your demons, literally.
And the hotel is your demon.
Oh, well, 100%.
It's like the Overlook is this character that just sucks you in, right? Yeah, it's like it seduces you
Yes.
with its history and its secrets.
Yeah.
And it just draws you deeper and deeper until you're lost.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And you know what really gets me? Are those parts where Danny is dealing with like the woman in room 217.
Oh my God.
It's just so creepy.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like one of the most iconic scenes in horror, I think.
Right. And King does not hold back on the details.
No, he does not.
Which makes it even scarier.
Yeah, like you said, he's not hitting us over the head with the horror.
No.
But those details.
But when he wants to freak you out, he knows how.
He knows how, right?
Yeah.
And I think what's really interesting, too, is it's like the Overlook isn't just trying to scare Danny, right?
No.
It's like it's toying with him.
Yeah, like it's enjoying his fear.
Yeah, it's messing with him and it's using his gift against him, which is, it's so messed up.
It's like the Overlook is this malevolent entity that gets off on making people miserable.
Totally.
Especially Danny.
Yeah, and it's not just Danny either.
Right.
I mean, Wendy's going through it too.
Oh, yeah, she's definitely starting to unravel.
Right. She's hearing voices,
Hmm.
things are moving around her that they shouldn't be moving around.
It's like the Overlook is getting inside her head, too,
Yes.
you know, messing with her sanity.
Yeah, and King does this really great job of like paralleling Jack's descent into madness with Wendy's own sort of paranoia and fear.
Right.
So it's like he blurs those lines between what's real and what's not.
Totally. And it makes you question, like, who's really losing it here?
Yes.
Is it just Jack? Or is Wendy being affected, too?
Right. And I think the Overlook just like it really hones in on their weaknesses, right?
Absolutely.
So with Jack, it's the alcoholism,
Yeah.
it's the anger, that rage.
Yeah.
And then with Wendy, it's her fear for Danny.
Right.
And just this growing realization that like her husband is not who she thought he was.
And then she's trapped there with him.
Exactly.
With no way out.
Well, I mean, the isolation, it plays such a huge role in the story.
Well, for sure.
Because like the snow piles up, right?
Yeah.
They can't get out.
No escape.
They're just completely cut off. And it's like the Overlook just becomes its own little universe.
Totally.
Where the rules no longer apply.
Yeah. It's like its own little snow globe of terror.
Yes.
And you know what always gets to me is that part where the phone lines go dead.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's when you know it's really bad.
Yes.
Like, there's no way to call for help. You're completely alone.
Totally. And I think one of the most striking examples of this is like that scene where Jack is transported back to that party in the ballroom.
Oh, yeah.
In like the 1940s, I think it is.
Yeah, it's like he's stepping back in time.
Yeah. And he's mingling with these guests.
And that's where he meets Grady, right?
Yes.
The former caretaker.
Like that scene is so unsettling because it really shows how the Overlook can just like distort reality,
Right.
And then Grady himself.
Oh, he's such a creepy character.
He is so creepy.
Like, completely unfazed by the fact that he murdered his own family.
I know, and he's like encouraging Jack
You're like, it's okay, you should do it too.
to embrace the darkness, right?
And it just shows how the Overlook can, like, corrupt even the most seemingly normal people.
Absolutely.
Like, if Grady can snap, anyone can.
Right. And then on top of all that,
Yeah.
there's the topiary animals coming to life.
Oh, yeah, those are freaky.
It's just like constant reminders that like nothing is what it seems.
It's like King is just throwing everything at you
Right.
to keep you off balance.
To keep you terrified.
Yeah. And it works.
It totally works.
And then there's the climax,
Oh, yeah.
with Jack going after Wendy and Danny.
With a roque mallet.
Yeah, so brutal.
It's terrifying, right?
It's like all that tension that's been building the whole time just explodes.
Yes.
And King does not hold back on the violence.
No, he does not.
But it's not gratuitous. It's like,
Right.
it serves a purpose.
It's a means to an end. And it's really well done.
It's like you can feel Wendy's fear.
Yeah.
You can feel Danny's terror.
It's palpable.
It's a masterclass in horror writing.
Totally. Thank goodness for Halloran, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he kind of comes in as like,
the cavalry?
yeah, like the shining knight, or at least, the shining chef.
Right, exactly.
But like, seriously though,
Yeah.
he senses that Danny and Wendy are in trouble, and he just like drops everything.
In the middle of a blizzard,
Yes.
he's like, I'm getting in the car, I'm going.
I mean, what a guy.
Talk about dedication.
Right. And it's like his connection to Danny is almost like this lifeline, right?
Oh, yeah, like he can feel Danny's fear.
Yeah.
And he knows he has to get there.
And I think it's really interesting, too, because, like, Halloran also has The Shining.
Right, exactly.
But he's not consumed by it.
No, he's learned to control it.
Right.
He's not afraid of it.
He understands it.
Yeah, and that's the difference.
It makes you wonder if maybe,
Yeah.
Danny could end up,
Going down a different path.
yeah, like maybe he won't end up like Jack.
Yeah, maybe with Halloran's guidance,
Right.
he can learn to master his abilities
Yeah.
instead of letting them control him.
It kind of makes you think about, like, nature versus nurture, right?
That's
Like,
right.
how much of who we are is predetermined.
Right.
And how much is shaped by our experiences.
Yeah, it's that age-old question.
And King doesn't give us any easy answers,
No, he doesn't.
which I think is part of what makes this book so brilliant.
So I'm curious, what did you think about the ending?
I thought it was brilliant, but so unsettling.
Oh, tell me about it.
That image of the Overlook engulfed in flames,
Mm-hmm.
it's both terrifying and freeing at the same time, don't you think?
Oh, 100%. Like, this evil has been purged,
Yes.
but at a terrible cost.
Right. But then there's that last scene with Danny,
Oh, yeah.
and that just, like, throws everything back up in the air.
It's like, can you ever really escape the Overlook?
Right. Like, are Danny and Wendy really safe?
Yeah, King leaves us with that question.
He does. And, it makes you think about the things that we can't outrun.
The things that haunt us.
The things that stay with us.
Trauma, guilt, fear.
Like, even when we think we've escaped our past,
It's always there,
sometimes it's still there, lurking in the shadows.
waiting for the right moment to resurface.
Well, on that happy note,
Right.
it's so interesting what you said at the very beginning
Yeah.
about The Shining being so much more than just a haunted house story.
Yeah.
Because it really is. It's about families and addiction and our own inner demons.
And the power of place.
Yes.
The idea that a place can hold on to the energy of the past.
Like the Overlook Hotel.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder what other secrets are out there.
Oh, I'm sure there are plenty.
Waiting to be uncovered.
In the dark corners of the world.
In the dark corners of our minds.
Exactly.
Well, this deep dive has been a wild ride.
I've loved it.
Me too. And thank you for all of your insights.
Anytime.
And thank you for listening. And until next time, sweet dreams.